So there's that. They added Dropper, which is good. It's more friendly to the player base. It doesn't really do PvP. And as proven, Just Build is the most popular game mode. It's not PvP game mode. It's doing really, really well. Death Run is doing really, really well. Hide and Seek is doing decent. Like, the non-PvP game modes, and it's a mini game server now. Okay, there's always been a mini game server, but like. Right.
Yeah.
Now on to the second Twitter question, which is actually a Twitter question, and it's from TSG is Live. Where do you think the Hive community is headed with Hive announcing new stuff in the summer? So we're going to split this kind of into two parts. We're not going to do one part at a time. We're just going to kind of link it into the Hive server and Hive content, I guess. Do you want to do that? Yeah?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you want to, I guess you kickstart it, and I will essentially argue with you, tell you why you're wrong.
All right.
Unless I agree with you.
So, all right, yeah. Tell me why I'm wrong. So
unless I agree.
if we're separating it into two things, I think the Hive server is fine because of the amount of casual people that just don't watch and don't care about YouTube content at all. There's still people playing on it, and that's not a big issue. Hive content, on the other hand, I feel like there's just not as much to do anymore, and it's like people are leaving, people are like, getting bored, not watching as much anymore, just because like there hasn't really been, but both in the way of updates and just like in the way of like ideas, it's kind of been a little sparse recently. So I mean, I don't think Hive content is necessarily like in the gutter, but it's definitely not where it once was in its heyday of 2021.
So I guess I won't be arguing with you because I agree. I think, I guess I'm going to sound like a bit of a parrot, but I'm going to say it in my own words as well.
Say it.
The Hive server, I think, like you said, is fine. With the release of the Dropper game mode, I wanted one in the chamber. I know I don't really play the Hive, but I have this thing, alright? That's going to sound really cocky. Orbitzz is the majority of the time right. So I told them to add one in the chamber, and them adding one in the chamber would have been amazing. But they didn't listen. Maybe they'll add it one day, who knows? But they didn't add it as a new game mode. So there's that. They added Dropper, which is good. It's more friendly to the player base. It doesn't really do PvP. And as proven, Just Build is the most popular game mode. It's not PvP game mode. It's doing really, really well. Death Run is doing really, really well. Hide and Seek is doing decent. Like, the non-PvP game modes, and it's a mini game server now. Okay, there's always been a mini game server, but like they're essentially starting to make it more of a mini game server with the Dropper, with the arcade in general, with Block Party is good as well. And but I've never jumped on the Hive dying as trend, because my thing is I've never really believed in Hive dying. However, and I know you said it's not really in the gutter, I do believe Hive content is dying. I do. I don't think like the Hive aren't catering for their creators, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Once again, Hive is doing well as a server, but it also impacts us. Like, many content creators are moving away. Maybe they'll still use Hive as their background footage, but like they're moving away from Hive content. I mean, look at me. I know my content isn't doing as well as it once did, and my ideas are literally videos I was going to do on Hive I've decided to do on a different server. So I still have plenty of ideas I could do on the Hive, but like, it was flourishing back in 2021. There's new MCCI, I see it as a big new upcoming server, so I've jumped on that. And I said this on stream the other day, so I'm going to repeat this one on the podcast, because a lot of stuff I say on stream is kind of exclusive to stream. That's why I promote it so much. I said this on stream, I said it on the podcast. I made command block tutorials, my sub count was getting high, but I wasn't gaining a loyal viewer base, so I jumped ship and I went to CubeCraft. CubeCraft was doing well, but Hive was doing better, so I jumped ship from CubeCraft and I went to Hive. I see Hive is doing bad, and I see MCCI and Java in a whole. I mean, CubeCraft Java is on the rise right with the new update. People love it. MCCI I see has massive potential, so I've jumped ship, and I've always been really good at moving on to what I think is good. I mean, I got it right with moving away from commands, because right now I don't know where I'd be with command block tutorials, but I don't think I'd be doing too well. Maybe lots of views and lots of money, but I don't really want that. I mean, I do want that.
You wouldn't be enjoying that at all. Like, that's just like probably boring to make, boring to like figure out how to do and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly. I went to CubeCraft, but then I realized the videos I was making on CubeCraft would get more views on Hive, which they did. I got a few Hive videos with 30, 40k views, some with 50. And then like I moved, and even you, Potato, you've moved away from Hive YouTube content as well. Yeah, you should stream the Hive, we're not counting that, but Hive YouTube you've moved away from, because
I haven't made a Hive YouTube video since Arcade back in last.
Exactly. And with like Block Party, I made one video on it, and it was a test thing, and I was going to make a video what your favorite Block Party power up says about you. Take it if you want, not you, I mean the viewer. I don't really care. You can do that. I'm sure the video will do great. But like, what content is there to make on Dropper?
Pretty much all the lineups and how to do it, and that's kind of it.
But maybe? Even then, those kind of videos don't do like how.
No, they will. Like, people will search. Like, again, you got to realize, like, all the NPCs that are playing the Hive, like they'll search it up and they'll watch the video on how to do it, and then they'll never watch another Hive video again.
But like, Danny is the bomb used to make hunt videos. He's moved away from hunt videos, so he's not going to make that video. Yeah, some people might make them. No, but the thing is, that video I think is going to be made on people's second channels. It's not going to be made on anyone's main channel.
Yeah, it's not going to be anyone's main content. I'm just saying that's pretty much the
No,
the
that's what I'm
sole
saying. Like main
feasible
content. Main content.
okay,
What can
okay.
you do? That's what I mean.
That's
Sorry.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have been a bit more clear. So like with that, it's like the Hive is doing well as a server, but what kept Hypixel so famous was the content creators. It's not only the content creators, and I've said this in a previous video, partially, not fully. Content creators can make or break a server. Pixel Paradise, had we have all turned around and said Pixel Paradise was bloody amazing and we loved it, you have a big influence. Everyone else who made videos on that server has a big influence. So people would, in their back of their minds, love it because you love it. Hypixel did so well for content, it did well for content. But if the Hive content dies, I mean, loads of people are moving away from the Hive in general as well. But then there's also that younger audience who are now starting to play the Hive. But then if they don't have content to watch on the Hive, do you get what I mean? I think the server's fine, but content is dead. I think content is dead.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. But again, there's so many people that just play the Hive that don't even know that probably like YouTube content out of the server exists, that like it's not gonna make a big dent, even if like, you know, a lot of the content creators were just kind of, you know, to quit or whatever.
Well, I mean, just like in general, like the content creators, they might make a Hive video every now and then, but I think people are a lot of people's channels have just stopped uploading because they're too scared to move away. Because I guess me, if you look at my channel, me moving away, I'm doing really, really bad right now. So that's probably scary for other people because they might be like, oh, Orbitzz tried doing it and look at where he is. But then like, give me until MCCI becomes open beta. Maybe my videos could start to pop off and then maybe people might realize it's not too scary to move away. But I think people are still stuck in that Hive rut, if that makes sense, like content creators specifically. I think a lot of people are too scared to move on because they're sticking to what they know and what gets them views. And that's
I mean, I think that's why a lot of people are like making new channels and completely rebranding, like we've talked about, like, you know, privately in the past. Like people are just like rebranding and moving on to different stuff. I think some people are scared to try and keep their current like content but moving away from the server because that can be difficult to do. But like I mean, people will move away, people will find different stuff to do eventually, whether it's content creation or whether it's just playing and being a viewer.
Well, I'm glad I never rebranded because what's it called? Had I rebranded, I wouldn't have been as easy getting into this community as it was.
Oh, for
like,
sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've said this publicly, so people know about it. The owner of Minecraft Mayhem is a fan of mine and you, Potato Pie. He is a fan. And if I had made a whole new account, I could have turned around and said I was Insane Orbitzz. But it was a lot easier having the name there already and like putting videos in the Minecraft Mayhem Discord server, and they turn around and be like, Insane Orbitzz, I know that guy. I was a fan of his. And like, like, if I started a whole new channel, I'd be like a 5-sub Andy or something. But like I'm you know, I know I have a lot of subscribers and not many viewers, but like it's still good not to rebrand because it's helping. And I think a lot of people rebranding are making, I'm gonna be real, a lot of rebranding is mistakes, I think, because
some of it is, some of it isn't. Like some people rebranding on a new channel that's not like tied to the Hive audience, I think be like a really good but then some people get it wrong as well and like, you know, rebrand but tell all their old subscribers, hey, subscribe to the new channel, and then people subscribe but then don't watch the videos.
Well, Dash and Prune, I don't know if you know who they are. They used to make CubeCraft content. They made a whole new channel for SMP.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're popping off because they did it right, but I don't think everybody does it right because some people, they'll start a new channel will do crap and they'll stop.
Yeah.
But then they don't realize that's how their main channel used to be. Their main channel used to do crap. Like, I got lucky. The only reason my main channel popped off when I first started was I did command block tutorials. I did all search terms.
Yeah.
But I'm not letting the fact that I'm no longer getting that kill me, which is like, essentially it does get me down a little bit. But I don't know, I think Hive is taking a good step in a step in the right direction. I think they're doing really, really well as a server. I just think content creation wise, I don't think Hive is going to be as content creator friendly as it used to be. Like you said, back in 2021, but that was also during COVID, you know? That's why a lot of people made their channels.
Hive's taken the steps to, you know, not like, I mean, obviously they still like support content creators. YouTube ranks still exist and still get perks from it. But you're right that like, I think they've kind of chosen to move in the direction of just like, you know, catering to their main player base instead of catering to the, I guess, smaller communities of players that just watch and follow content.
I mean, they did a period of shout outs, but they only did what, about 10, and you had to like enter a poll and get lucky to get a shout out. So that was that, and it had to be on like a certain day. So things like that, like, which was cool, like catering to. But like, I mean, Turbo Piggy got a shout out from the Hive, and looking at his view counts before and after that shout out, hasn't changed. His view count hasn't changed. He went up to what, 200, 300 people that stream? Hasn't changed.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, the boost still, like, the boost can't hurt regardless. Either way, I mean, I don't hate the Hive for, like, you know, trying to move away. Yeah, I get your point for sure. I don't hate the Hive from trying to, like, you know, just cater to their main audiences, but I think we can agree that content creation definitely isn't what it anymore on the Hive.
I mean, that's why I've moved away. I didn't, well, I mean, my main thing is, and once again, I don't hate the Hive, so I don't take this as a toxic way. This is me simply saying what I see. I'll say my experience. And so with like the Hive in the past month, it has been horrendous for hackers and snipers on Skywars. You've been playing Skywars kits, somehow you've been lucky. The Skywars,
yeah, because the kits all play just the main modes.
Exactly, and the Skywars is bad. And I remember talking about it before, and it came off as really toxic. And Turbo talked about it on a recent stream, and he came off as like really positive because he was better with his words than I used to be. I've gotten a lot better with my words now. I'm a lot better like expressing my feelings. But like with that, and it's not the Hive's fault because they're constantly working on the anti-cheat. But snipers, like mods, don't watch streams. They don't, because they're all volunteers. They have they have other things to be doing. Not better things to be doing. They have other things to be doing. So they can't always sit in a stream. And with that, you constantly get sniped. You constantly get hacked on. Whereas like streaming Java, I got a little bit annoyed on stream today because someone was like blatantly target, and it was stupid. But other than that, I always say like, I don't mind you sniping me, just don't target. And for some bizarre reason, the audience I built, they're really, really considerate to that. Whereas on the Hive,
that is super nice.
It was really, really bad. Like it was very bad for snipers and hackers. And like because of that, I mean, I've had people join my stream like Avery, and like I've had other like viewers come back because they were like, I can see how much happier you are streaming Java, and that's why I moved away. Nothing against the Hive, but against like not the Hive's player base either, really, just against like some of the stuff that happened on the Hive, some of the stuff that happened. Because I could stream another Bedrock server, but I don't know, 1.19 feels like my call, and I've been enjoying it a lot more. So
I mean, you just stream like we've said this entire stream, you just stream what you enjoy.
Exactly, and that's what you've been doing, and like you know, you're still doing well. You're averaging what 50, 60. Your viewer counts have actually gone up from what I've seen, unless I'm wrong.
Somewhat, yeah.
You for a period of time you was averaging like 40, but you're averaging about 60, 65 again now. What you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the ebbs and flows of like like school, like viewers being able to watch, and it goes up and down, and I've recognized that over the years.
Exactly. So it takes a bit of time to learn.